So James, let's talk about Arsenal, because there's one man in the center of pretty much everything, and that is Aubameyang. So just let me know how, first of all, what's the deal with him, and will he stay at Arsenal? And then how it will probably affect others coming in and others leaving.
Well, there's no surprise that the financial effects of coronavirus have probably hit Arsenal harder than most. They were already having or facing a summer where they were going to rely on player sales to some extent to help Mikel Arteta rebuild the squad. You know, you only need to look at the fact that they are the only Premier League club to have negotiated a 12-month pay cut with their first team squad, not a deferral, to show you the concerns that they have about just the financial robustness of the club going forward when football does return again. That has a knock-on effect to the contract situation, and clearly Aubameyang has been Arsenal's best player for some time. He really holds all the aces in this negotiation. He's here of his contract. He's going to turn 31 this summer. It will be the last big deal you would think of his career because of, you know, the prime years. If he signs a 3-4 year deal, you'd think this for him. And Mikel Arteta is a huge fan of his. The Arsenal fans adore him, and they want him to be the linchpin that the team is built around. And I think this is why they need a decision quite early on this, because if they don't get Aubameyang tied down to a new contract, they have said in the past, the club hierarchy have talked about how they want to make sure they're not held to ransom as they have been, you know, with players running down their deals and losing them for nothing, as happened with Aaron Ramsey and happened with a number of players in recent years. I think they will sell Aubameyang this summer if they can't agree a deal with him. Now, Julien Laurent, our ESPN colleague, has already clarified that they haven't offered him a new contract yet. You have to kind of ask why. You know, given the importance that he has at the club, given how everything kind of hinges on what they're going to do with him, they really need to make a decision on that. And I do believe there will be some progress, you know, one way or the other this month on that. I think they will have to get to a stage where they know what they're going to do with him. For the 2021 season, because everything flows from there. There's a Lacazette situation. Now he's got an extra year on his contract, but there's been repeated speculation that he's not been entirely happy in London. You only really need to look at his body language in certain matches, and he has looked particularly disaffected, sometimes disinterested. Now that's changed since Unai Emery was sacked and Mikel Arteta's brought in. He does feel a little bit more valued now, but there's been substance to the speculation that he could go back abroad. Atletico Madrid was always the logical place for him, but because they've signed Morata and they've obviously already got Costa, they've kind of got options there. Signing another striker on top of that is probably not where their priorities lie at the moment. So it would be uncertain about exactly where he'd go. But if they were able to tie down Aubameyang, it could be that they're open to offers for Lacazette, because they are, as I say, in a slightly stronger position to negotiate there. So they could secure a higher deal and then use that revenue to start sorting out other areas of the team. Now, Thomas Partey was somebody from Atletico Madrid who they were looking at. Now, my understanding is there hasn't really been much of a conversation about a swap deal, although that was widely reported. But the fact that Arsenal in other areas are thinking about free transfers, Ryan Fraser's one that they've looked at from Bournemouth, although I think Tottenham are probably more likely for him at the moment. Willian's another one from Chelsea on a free transfer. The fact that they're looking at free transfers, and there was even that about swap deals, although I don't think that was particularly the case with Partey, it's certainly something that they're looking at on a wider basis. That kind of again tells you that the financial difficulties that Arsenal are going to face are really going to affect how they approach this summer. And so, again, just to bring it back to the start, it all comes back to Aubameyang. If Aubameyang signs a new deal, that will leave one or two other players who will be free to leave to really fund that rebuild. If he goes, they expect that Lacazette would stay. Lacazette would be the new sort of de facto number 9, if you like, and then they would look to build around there with players in other positions.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.